Well, hello. Hi, guys. Paul here from PABrewNews. Got chickens and got cats, got chaos, got painting. Painting's going on right now. It's all prepped. Don't really know what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to kind of create. Drinking a beer right now. I'm drinking, if you notice, I have the border taped off, a little extra special, trying to do something different every time we do these things. Right now, drinking from All the Grain Brewing Company. They're Pretty Willie's Imperial Bourbon Barrel Age Imperial Stout, Russian Imperial Stout, from their Stave It for Later series. 13% alcohol by volume from Louisville, Kentucky. And right now, um, little warning for those watching. Don't really have the ability to put lights right now, at least on different areas, so there's going to be shadows. I will try to back up so you guys can see, and of course by the end of the painting session I will pull this forward so you can get a good shot of it before we get done. So just a little heads up about that kind of crap, little tech stuff. This week I will be putting in a order on eBay for a lapel mic. If you want that to happen, I think maybe with the camera and this angle, I think you might have a little bit better chances of hearing me correctly. I'm not sure. Always, your input is very, very important to me. Definitely, absolutely, because you guys seem to like this. So I'll keep doing. Excuse me. I'll keep doing it, and of course, I want to make you happy. You know. So, thanks for the input. Redbeard, I definitely thought about your input about the whole freaking shadow thing on the thing on the canvas, but unfortunately because of the type of plugs I have, I can't put the big lights that I have over here. So right now we're kind of stuck, but I'll try to find something for the next episode to brighten it up so the angle isn't so funky. So anyway, it's about 9 a.m. Sunday. That's basically the time I'm going to be doing all these things now. So let's just put some shit on this canvas. Oh, I said the swear words. I'm going to try not to do that. But again, I want to do something a little bit different every time. I don't want to do the same painting over and over again. And so far, I've been trying to change it up. I think I've been doing a pretty good job on that one. So, right now, let's change it up a little bit. Just gonna got my dirty brush here that I put the liquid white on to the canvas. I'm gonna come into here, have a little bit of a mixture of bright red and white. Kind of make a little bit of an aura of pinkish hue. And we're going to take that same color. I'm going to run through a little bit of the same kind of red mixed with a little hint of blue. Darken up the corners a little bit. Just crisscross strokes. And then it's going to mix with the red that's on the canvas that you put on, and it's going to mix with a little bit with that white that is underneath here. Kind of give it a stormy sunset effect. Just blend it together. No big deal. You can just kind of go through the whole thing if you want. I'm going to blend it together a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit more, tap it in there. I'm just going to go straight through on the sides, just in case if we want water. And blend it out. There we go. Just a little bit like that. Clean it up. Clean this brush out, at least. might try to... Cold morning here. Cold morning in PA. Unfortunately, spring has not yet got the full grasp. But I'm going to try to implement a couple different brushes than usual. Got a little bit of hair there. Kind of flick it off. No big deal. Sometimes you can flick it off with a brush. It works okay. There it goes. I'm going to try to implement a couple different brushes in this episode. I don't know if you can see kind of that orange glow in the middle. Right now, probably just going to go with our traditional trusty 2-inch. Just going to throw a couple clouds in here. We're just going to take a little bit of white, dab it with a little bit of that red that we had. And we're just going to roll in a simple, very simple cloud. Tap it in. Just find where you want one. No big deal. Just so they're there. Just so it mixes up a little bit. Kind of breaks up a little bit of that monotony of the blue streaks. All right. We're just rolling the tip of it in a circle. Just making a couple different things. We're gonna blend these together here pretty soon. So it's not gonna be a big deal. If you don't want to put clouds in, you don't have to. Just blending the bottoms in with the light that's already there. Just give it a little bit of a whiff. Just fluff it up, roll it up. 2 hairs and some air, and then just lightly go across. No big deal. There. Then there's just a little bit of wispy clouds kind of walking through. Clean the brush up, get all that white paint off. Beat the living hell out of it. That's the fun part. Okay. Now we're going to use something. We're going to use a different kind of brush here. I'm going to pull it out wherever I put it. Here it goes. It's a filbert brush. A little bit of a filbert brush. A little rounded brush. I'm just going to try to make a little bit of a different mountain range. And we're probably going to use the oval brush in this one too. We're going to just kind of make a slightly different type of mountain range. You're just kind of mixing it up a little bit. Kind of mixing up the styles. Trying to give a little bit of a distance look. Find out where you want your first one, and you just start touching and walking it around. Just kind of hear the cats. This is your first one. Kind of walking around. We're just kind of working on mountains that are a little bit further in the distance. Kind of a jagged kind of mountain. Something that you can't see very well, but it's there. Just pull down. Pull down with the filbert brush. You can also just kind of move them around and get more rockiness and stuff. No big deal. Whatever. Just move it around. Pull down. We're just making little distant mountains and foothills in the distance. That's it. Just something for the background. Pull down. There you go. Okay. Now we just take it with a 2-inch brush. Pull down. Follow what you did. Pull down. You can even use the side, just pull down. Tap it. pull up. Even grab it, pull down a little bit just to mist it up a little bit more. Blend the back. Lift up. It's just going to be a little bit of a nuancy mountain in the back. If it gets a little bit too much, you can put a little bit of white on there, a little bit of just tap it, move it. It's going to give you a little bit of nuance of what's going on back there. Mists of trees, mists of mountains. It's going to give you a little bit nuances of everything. You don't know what's going back there. It's just a line of trees. Same thing again. We're going to go in a little bit, and where this line stops, we're going to add another layer. Same thing you want to do with your fan brush. If you want to add layers and layers of trees, just walk along that same line. Walk it along. Same thing. That's it. Don't cover up all that diffusion line, because that's the thing that makes it layers and layers and layers. Alright? Okay. Same thing. Pull it down. Okay. Tap it. Tap the bottom. Pull up. Give it that little bit of a nuance of trees back there. Nothing big. Alright. Now we got a background. Now we got something to work with. Clean this off. Clean your little filbert brush off. No big deal. You got a little bit of layers back there of some trees. Now we're going to get a little bit of a foothill going on. A little bit of brown. Let's see, a little foothill going on. Something with a little bit more character than what's back there. You don't care what's going on in the back. You want more what's on the front. Right on the peak, that's really what you're trying to look for. Something like that. Okay. Scrape it. Get all that excess paint off. And just in case you want to reflect it in the water, you can. Push hard and reflect the little nuance of mountain and the little foothill or whatever you want to call it. Right into the water. Get your little brush and start working those around. Turn that off. Get a little bit more. Okay. Just get it to that depth that you like it. If you get it too detailed, then you're going to lose that little subtle nuance of distance. rub it in with your knife. Different planes in it. Just like that. No big deal. Okay. Get a little bit of a white. Excuse my shoulder. Cut a little bit of a water line in there. So just gonna cut a little bit of water. If it gets too defined, just go over it again, rub it in. It'll blend in with the color underneath it. There you go. It'll go away. Alright. Right there. Got a little bit of land right here. Got some nuances of mountains in the back. No big deal. Got a little bit of a brush right there. Just knock that out of the park. Okay. Let's go into some foreground here. That's what we're going to do now. Probably just use this big old 2-inch brush. Giving some browns and blacks and blues. Kind of just mix up some dark color and start building a tree. Kind of lives right about there, I guess. Cool. And while we're here, we can just reflect that right in the water. Pull it down. Go across. Reflect that. There you go. Okay. And maybe, yep. Oh, we just put a big old green in there too. How about we just put a big old, right about there. How about we just put another one right there. So, push up. Watch this. He died right there. He had a bad year right there. He started going again. Work down, ooh, right about there. You don't see all of them. See a little bit of them. You don't see all of them, okay? I'm going to keep that dark brush there. Go in some nuances of the yellow. A little bit of blue. Nice little green color going on. Well, a little bit of, just a little bit of white. And we'll just pop up a little bit of nuance on him. Not too much, just a little bit. There you go. A little bit of nuance. A little bit of the white and the brown. Cut that off and build him a little bit of a trunk. Probably one right there. There you go. Kind of sticks up there. No big deal. Okay. And let's take a little bit of a fan brush, put it in the paint thinner, let it down a little bit. Get some dark color on there. Put it down. we're just going to come right here and make a little bit of a tree. Make a little bit. Thin that paint down just a touch. You're not going to probably see all these, but you're going to see some of them. So, and then take a little bit of white, a little lighter color in there. Light it up a little bit. You can just come on the side, highlight him. Oh. A little bit of branch kind of sticks out past the tree, that's fine. Little nuances here and there. A little bit here and there. That's not bad. That's no problem with that. Okay, clean that off. Now we're going to take the same brush that we had, same 2-inch brush. We're going to keep working with that. We're going to put some green on there and some yellow. Tap that in there. We're just going to come here and some a little darker in there. Have some darker colors in that. Have a little bit of the darker color in there. Not sticking right. That teeniest bit of lacing. Pretty gnarly looking tree you got there. Pretty gnarly. Put some white accents on that one. That's all right. Okay. With a little 1-inch brush, go through a little bit of the white paint back into that yellow. Tap it back and forth, the white paint, the greens. Pull it through. Load the brush up nice and thick with paint. Then you just throw some bushes in here. Okay. The yellow. I'm going to reflect these right into the water. Just like that. Okay. Now you want to take a nice clean dry brush. You just want to touch. Just touch. And then across. Just like that. Get that nuance of a reflection. Take a little bit of the white and the brown. work around the base. Give that little nuance of the landmass underneath there. Okay. More white. Put a little red in there. Sparkle it up a little bit. Ooh, pinky. Pink. Sparkle up that little landmass back there too. It all makes sense then. Okay. Clean your knife off. Pull out your white pretty thin, liquid white. Go across. Get a little roll of paint. Just cut in a little bit of a watermark. Just like that. No big deal. Okay. Go right back to your little filbert brush that we had. We got this little really nice thin stuff going on. Thin mixture. Get a little oil on the brush. Mix it up. Scratching a couple little sticks, twigs. Okay. Take your knife, get some oil on your knife. Come over here, slap it down, put some black in there, little white. Make a real gray color. Maybe a little bit of red. Make a real nice thin color with that clear. Put it off your knife. Take your filbert brush. Go through the black that you have. Go through your black. And with one side of your filbert brush, go through that thin color that you made. Just kind of come up here and just go, make little squiggles. Through the black, through this. Make little stones in the water. Same stroke. Just leave that dirty for right now. Take a little bit of that white again. A little bit less than that. A little bit of the white. There you go. And just kind of clean up the foots. You can also use your little bit of, if you wanted to do it with just your liner brush, take it through the white, And you just kind of go through here and just that. Make your foots. Just like that. Little rocks and stuff. Put my finger in something. Watch if your fingerprint. Make sure which finger you're using so you don't put your hand somewhere you didn't want it to be. Paint all over yourself. Alright. Just again, just here. Here. Clean up the foots. Walk around here. Here. Footsies. Clean up the foots. Foots. Pretty much like that. Yeah. Anything you don't like, you can just cover up, do over again, no big deal. Right there, needs a little bit of put a couple over there, I forgot to touch up. A little bit right there. One way it's not too dirty. There. Right, just like that. Okay. That side's kind of done. Now we can work on this side. Take your big brush with all those dark colors on it, kind of work it through, pull through, and get this dark bank going. Don't cover up all that stuff you just got done doing sometimes. Sometimes it's okay, but right now, just make a big tree. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. That's good. Now, take your fan brush. We'll use a knife. Heck yeah, we'll use a knife. Take some dark color. We're just gonna mix it in with some of the color that's already on the knife that you picked up when you were mixing some colors. That's alright. Get a little red in there. And we'll have a little buddy right there. Just walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, walk it up. Okay? Just like that. Branch. Branch. Walk it up. Okay? Now, take some white, lots of white, cut across, and just follow it along. Some nice birch trees. Nothing too crazy. Just let it pick up what it wants. Give back what it doesn't want. Just follow along. Don't gotta go too crazy. Just like that. Some of that will get covered up. No big deal. Too white, just work it around. You want to pick up some of that color that's underneath it, you can do that again. You don't want them too bright. Just like that. Okay, now we can try this one, oval brush. Or not the oval brush, the round brush. Go with some of that liquid white. green, a lot of that yellow color that we already have. Then we can just start touching off this. Just kind of working around. They also call this a foliage brush. Get a little bit more extra white on there. Just like that. Get a little bit of a liner brush. Get it nice and thin. A dark color. Just like that. Roll it around. Have some of this kind of come out this way. Work around the leaves. Pop out, pop here. Just like that. Sometimes it's nice when you just walk it right off the palette. Okay. Sometimes you can also use liquid black for this too. That makes a nice little bit of a, instead of thinning it down with thinner, just use liquid black. It looks pretty good. Works pretty good. Sometimes it just gets a little bit too messy using thinner. I found anyway. So here and there, boom, boom, boom. No big deal. Just like that. Whatever. No big deal. Okay. After that debacle is over, you can always go back and clean it up just a little bit more. If you see anything you want to touch up, branches and stuff, touch that up. Touch that up. Slap that on. Poof. Done. Poof. That one. Okay. No big deal. Now we're going to go back into the 1-inch brush. A little bit more yellow since we ran out a little bit. Yellow. Okay. Now we're gonna, let's see, let's work on this side. Okay. Now we're going to get a little bit of that brown, a little bit of red mixed together, a little white, mix it through there, kind of. Excuse me, I'm in your way a little bit. A little bit of white. it up. Wow. Clean it up. Okay, let's see what we're doing now. Alright, back in here, get back some of these colors. And try. So mix some of these colors up. Push that path back a little bit, just a little bit. It's a little rough here. One thing I'd like to find, now that I've used the new and the old variants of the Bob Ross paint, I'd like to find a better paint, newer paint that isn't so thin. One thing that I can say is, now that I've used the Bob Ross paint that's coming out now versus the paint that I used to have, is I noticed it's a lot thinner of a paint than what used to be available. They used to have paint that was really, really thick, but now even the blacks and the darks and stuff like that seem to be extremely thin, and because of that you mix mud a little bit too much, unfortunately. But anyway, this is a basic little painting, nothing too crazy. I'm going to get a little bit more into it, but I'm going to scrape a little bit of some sticks and twigs in there after I got done talking to you guys for a little bit. Come in here, scrape some stuff, nuances here. These little bushes. It's always fun to scrape these little things in. And honestly, and it's always good too if you want to, when it gets a little bit lighter like that, you can always come in with a lighter paint and make a little bit of a branch that comes up here. Takes a little bit now again. Make sure it has a little bit of a crook to it. Like that. Little nuances here and there. That's stuff that just kind of sticks up for you. No big deal. Okay. Pretty much like that. All kind of scraped in, doing its thing. It's a little bit of a mud mixer, I think, on this one. Unfortunately, with the paint that I used today, but it is what it is. And it's also pretty confined. It's pretty small canvas going on today. But here's the thing. Let me just remove this and see what we got. And here we go. Here's our little painting for today. Now let me move this camera over here so you guys can see what we got done doing. Set this down. Angle it up. Then I'll get out of your way so you can see a little bit better. And that's what we got done doing today. Could get little things that I could change, little things that I feel that we can improve on. Hope you like the border that I made. This wooden border. It's all painted wood. And maybe next week, if you guys are interested, I'll show you how to make a nice little wood border, or actually a whole wooden background that you can paint a picture on. So anyway, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. This has been another episode of Painting with PABrewNews. Let's sit over here and say my final goodbyes. Okay, guys. Well, episode 4 of Painting with PABrewNews. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And anyway, like I said, if you feel you would like to know how to do that, we can do a little bit of a expo on the next Painting with PABrewNews of how to do a wooden background, or a faux looking wooden background you can paint a picture on. So anyway, this is Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers. Bye-bye.